understand what's going on around you. You are in a state of war, and you have precious little time to save yourself. It's a slow process which we call active measures. The first stage being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. The next stage is destabilization. What matters is essentials: economy, foreign relations, defense systems. The next stage is crisis, with a violent change of power, structure, and economy, period of normalization. This is what will happen in the United States if you allow all these schmucks to put a big brother government in Washington, D.C., who will promise lots of things, never mind whether the promises are fulfillable or not. The time bomb is ticking. With every second, the disaster is coming closer and closer. The danger is real.
I don't remember when is the last time I was so hyped for a video game, and I never ever thought that I'm going to see in my lifetime anywhere in the mainstream media or the big video gaming companies talk about Yuri Bezmenov. If you don't know who Yuri Besmanov is, he was a KGB defector. And he tried to explain to Americans how the Soviet Union is trying to destabilize the United States. He talks about the tactic of judo, where if you face a stronger opponent, you don't want him to punch you because that would be very damaging for you. But what you want to do is to take the punch that he has and move it into a direction that you want in order to destabilize that opponent. And he explains how every single nations have various groups, various factions that are trying to fight against the government. Radicals, extremists, so on and so forth. And what the Soviet Union did was to found these groups, to give them money, and to try to unite them all in order to fight against the US government, to destabilize the American country from within. And the tactics that they would use were perfectly legal. They would send journalists that were pro-Soviets. They would send or try to co-opt movie makers or university professors. Like, there was nothing illegal about the university professor holding a lecture on Marxism. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union was defending itself against that type because America couldn't send pro-capitalist professors in USSR. They would be shot. So, yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. And he goes on in details talking about what he means by active measures, explaining how various tactics were done by attacking the religion, by attacking morality, by pitting men against women, the young against the old, whites versus blacks. And a lot of people on internet find that to be similar to what's going on now. You know, changing definitions, changing words. All of this Yuri Bezmenov talks about. And because of that, his video was quite suppressed. And I think it was even removed from YouTube, one of them, which managed to go viral because people were sharing it on Reddit. And there was a massive campaign in order to flag the video as offensive, and they succeeded. You can still find the videos on YouTube, but like that particular one was going viral and it became problematic. And now I guess a lot of people are going to have to search for Yuri Bezmenov because they'll be like, oh, who is this guy? And they might be interested in learning more about him. So more knowledge is always good. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Call of Duty is going to treat this Cold War video game, because they're bragging that know your history, because if you don't know your history, you're going to repeat it. So I don't know if they're going to pull a Battlefield and just, you know, make up historical facts and then say it's a video game, but you promise people you're going to deliver history. So I hope at least the general themes and the vibes are true to history. You know, they could always just you know, do their own thing and just invent something rather than go with historical events. But man, I would really like to play a historical game, you know, like a game that is actually rooted in history and, you know, puts you in the shoes of some event that actually happened. I would love that. You know, there is a demand for that. Since when is the nonsense that, oh, just because you have a minimap and you have a UI, there shouldn't be anything historical? You know, that's so rubbish. I learned a lot of history from Rome Total War because you would read all of that text, that flavor text, which was written by actual historians, and it was actually true. And you would get, you know, a passion for history by just playing a video game. Why not? But anyway, you know, that's neither here nor there. Even if they happen to make a bad game, it's still interesting because it's got like Yuri Besmanov, and like a lot of people might be aware of him. But what I find interesting is that this is the first time I see a AAA company not virtue signaling for the left. I mean, that's really bizarre. I mean, Yuri Bezmenov is very popular mostly in right-wing circles. You know, the left doesn't like him. So it's very interesting. Like, maybe video game companies have discovered that there is a market that has been untouched and ignored for ages. You know, the most oppressed minority right now seems to be the reactionaries. So would be interesting if they actually give us a little bit of attention. I mean, I'm more than willing to spend money on that. I said I'm not going to buy any more Activision products, and, you know, like I didn't want to buy the new Call of Duty, but I mean, if that's what they're doing, I mean, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I want to support that. You know, I want to vote with my wallet. I mean, I'm even going to buy their DLC, their season pass, if they pull off a great job. I mean, that's how you send the message, right? That the company is going on the right path. I'm not into this cancel culture bullshit where I want the company to die and never... No, I want them to improve. I want them to, you know, there is a path of redemption. Cancel culture doesn't give you a path to redemption. You're canceled, that's it. But anyway, let's look a little bit at the comments section. So this was just uploaded 3 hours ago. The internet still hasn't realized. So it's been... it's like... how for the past 15 years YouTube has been trying to censor Yuri Besmanov videos, and now Call of Duty comes along and puts him in the global spotlight. The numbers are back, Mason. Look at this. Yuri's warning, it sounds a lot like what's happening today. Cause it is. The real tragedy is that many people think the communists are the good guys. What's Yuri's warning? Right, like, people are getting interested. Uh-oh, they start to think. This is why the left wants to control video games. You know, like why all of the journalists work in unison in order to decide which games are good and which are bad. Just look at the journalists. Like, they unilaterally decide, all right, The Last of Us 2, masterpiece. And then when you look at how the actual players feel and you go to Metacritic, they think it's mediocre at best. Remember your history, do not repeat it. Inspired by actual events. You mean current events. Ongoing events. The USSR started decades ago. China picked up where they left off. Race is a common communist tool used to divide the masses. This is so true. Like, oh, I should make a video about the history of communism and race. Yuri gave all these talks in the 80s, warning of ideological subversion. We are witnessing the later stages of this now. Our universities and schools have been infiltrated for years now. Take a look at the new curriculum in public schools are publishing. Teachers are upset that parents will be seeing what they are teaching during classes at home. Man, I didn't know people are so educated. They know parents won't like it. California will be voting on ending their civil rights laws. If they do, it will once again be legal to discriminate based on race when hiring for a job. Communist tricks are used to reverse meaning for words. They say anti-racism now, but it's literally racism. They want to bring back segregation, etc. This is why knowing history is really important. I'm really surprised Call of Duty put this here. Y'all get this is my favorite one. I really wanted to find this. Y'all got clearance to warn the United States like this? Jesus Christ, bro. For anyone who hasn't yet heard about Yuri Besmanov, now is the time. If the campaign is raw and authentic, like Modern Warfare, then this might look decent. Things happening in the US right now. Bob's Cold War devs, write that down, write that down. Look at this. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who is demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell him nothing. Even if I showed him with information with authentic proof, with documents and pictures, he will refuse to believe it. That's the tragedy of the situation of demoralization. This is like, oh my god. Did Call of Duty just save Western civilization? Oh, I'm impressed they used this interview with Sophic mainstream. Yeah, no, this is glorious. This is absolutely glorious. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.